it's Louise Schofield, and I'm now joined with Sam Eagle in his home studio at the moment. It's looking very, very cool there.
Thank you very much for having me, Louise. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. How's lockdown been treating you, Sam?
It's been weird, as like has been for everyone.
Yeah.
It's been, I think it's been good though. Like it's been a really good opportunity to kind of rethink what you're doing in life,
Yeah.
uh, and like how you're doing it, which is a really good thing to do, and an opportunity that I think comes up very little in like how fast life is. It's a
Yes.
good opportunity just to slow down and take a look at what you're doing. Do you know what I mean?
You do take like an out of body step back at yourself, don't you? You look down and you're like, wow, this is just like, you've got to adapt to this like so quickly. It's so bizarre, so weird. But it's great that you've got the equipment at home to be able to like play around and do make some stuff, which is great.
Absolutely, yeah. It's like it really came into its own like from situations like lockdown. Obviously, like no one could expect that to actually happen. Like that wasn't obviously the reason why I started a home studio,
Yeah.
but it is like very convenient for kind of any situation.
Oh, absolutely. Because I've noticed you've been going on Twitch, which is great. You've had like your own little
Yeah.
Sam cam, which is awesome. And it's great because you're a multi instrumentalist. So it's great to see you work in your own space and using that to kind of like connect with your fans. It must have been quite a nice way to connect with people and show people what you do.
Cheers. Yeah. That was like one of the products of lockdown to try and sort of compensate for not having any gigs anymore.
Yeah.
And I kind of thought, I don't like just playing live stream concerts like over and over again, and everyone was doing them.
Yeah.
I was just like, how I feel like doing a live stream in a way that can be different each time and is like, um, just a little different to just playing a gig to live stream. It has been a really good way to connect with people, though. You're right. But yeah, people have been like, um, I've been sending stems out to people, and they've been working on beats and sending stuff back. So it's been like a nice way to, yeah, meet new people and meet new producers and meet other musicians, and yeah, it's just been a really cool thing that, again, like wouldn't have happened if lockdown hadn't happened.
But it just shows us how we can like connect with the world because it's so strange. Because I was listening to your podcast you did with Sven, who you met during like a Twitch, and you sent him, he sent you some stuff, and you kind of collaborated from there. So it just shows how it makes the world a lot smaller, doesn't it?
Sure does. It sure does, definitely.
Meet people all over the world. Yeah, I mean, I was having a look at your influencers. I had a look at your influencing playlist, and you had a bit of Kendrick Lamar, a bit of Little Dragon, a bit of Talking Heads. It's really nice. It's really diverse. A bit of Bowie as well. Like it was just like great because these are all very layered musicians, and they've got like their own kind of funky thing going on with their own music. So are these kind of artists that you put on in the everyday and you've kind of grown up listening to?
Pretty much, yeah. It is quite a diverse list of influences, I guess. Yeah. Or I've never really kind of liked one style of music. Like
Yeah.
anyone who does their own thing and does kind of interesting stuff. That's all I'm about, really. Yeah. Just growing up, like when I like first got into music, I was like, Radiohead is the
Yeah.
only band that matters, and everyone else is terrible. And that was like all I thought about. And then eventually, like I discovered that other music exists.
We all have that one band, don't we? We do have that one band where we're like, no one else is there.
Exactly. Um, but yeah, Talking Heads been a big influence. Kendrick's been a big influence. A lot of hip hop has kind of worked its way into like my vocal influence, I guess,
Mm.
which I guess makes sense. And just like groove wise and things, taking a lot from hip hop and stuff.
Yeah, I mean it's good because you've got the musicality, you've got that head on you as well, because you are a multi instrumentalist, which is great. So you can kind of bring in these different influences, and you can kind of recreate your own style into things as well, which I think is great. What was the first instrument you picked up?
Very first one was drums,
Nice. Yeah.
which I think is quite common among multi instrumentalists. Weirdly, like from the people I know that that play like multiple instruments. Pretty much all of them started on drums, which is kind of weird, I think.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I started drums when I was quite young, because it's just such a. My gran bought me a drum set,
Yes.
and it's just like it's a good instrument for a young child because it's just
Absolutely.
like super just accessible. Like you don't have it. It's not like fiddly like a guitar or like anything else. You just hit stuff, and you so yeah. I started on drums and then guitar came next. Like kind of got into guitar when I was about sort of 14, 15, I think.
Yeah.
Um, and then just sort of gathered a sort of collection.
Yeah, you started dabbling around in other stuff.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it. It's the best way to learn, isn't it? But I think drums is great because it's the loudest one you can pick up as well straight away. And it's like, I'm here, I'm learning an instrument. And yes, let's annoy the neighbours. But it's good. It's so worth it. But congratulations on being signed to Cooking Vinyl as well. That is so exciting.
Oh,
What a
cheers.
fantastic roster to be on. How did that feel when you signed to them?
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like they've got such an eclectic range of people and people that, you know, I really love like Pixies, like Fantastic Negrito, like Groove Armada. Yeah, it's really cool to be a part of it. They're just like as a label, just exactly I think what a label should be. Like super artist friendly and from my point of view, like delivering these last two projects, these two EPs that I made for them,
Yeah.
they were just like, I missed my deadline by like 6 months,
Whoops.
and but they were like, the only thing that is important is that they're right. Doesn't matter. Take your time on it. Let's just get it really right. And I was like, and they gave me pretty much full like creative freedom on it, and yeah, they just really know how to work with an artist, how an artist wants to be worked with.
Yeah, I think that's really important, like you said, because a lot of the artists on that roster, like you were saying, they are innovative and they have all got a nice dynamic feel to their music. So it is important for you. It's your baby, especially because Something Out of Nothing is going to be the first release with Cooking Vinyl, isn't it?
Yeah,
So you wanted to get that right because it's the first taste, isn't it?
sure. Yeah, yeah. And it's the first music I've put out in like a year and a half.
Yes.
I didn't quite realize like how long it had been, but yeah, you're right. You want it to be right for sure. When
Absolutely, because Coping Mechanisms, your debut, you've kind of, I was reading about the journey, you've kind of gone from that into this, like these new EPs. You've kind of found yourself as a musician and changed the way you kind of look at music and stuff like that. And it's more for you, which I think is great. Has it been quite like an intense journey, kind of finding that new sound?
yeah, for sure. When I first started working on these songs for Cricket Vinyl, I was like very much like my kind of motivations I think were quite clouded. Like I was kind of making them for what I thought they wanted and what I thought people would want to hear. I was probably thinking more from like a commercial point of view rather than a creative point of view. And the songs I think really suffered for it. And um then I took them to Cooking Vinyl and we spoke and kind of agreed that they just they didn't sound like me because I wasn't, which would make sense because I wasn't really writing them for myself. And so after that, I went away and took a little bit of time and rethought everything, and then just got back into writing for the same reason why you start writing music, just because you love writing music. And like instantly, just from like a change of mindset, they the songs just kind of became so much more colorful and so much more fun and like yeah, just fun, really, just more enjoyable.
Yeah, that's, I mean, because I was having a little look and you've kind of delved into a theme of like love in all different respects, like kind of like nature and family and people around you and love for music and things like that, which I think flows nicely for you finding your sound because that's important because you're finding the love in that. So that must have been quite a nice theme to explore in your music.
Very much, yeah. I was starting a new relationship from through like the whole process as well, so that like naturally very much like found its way into the music as
Yeah.
it would. But yeah, you're right. Like I think finding just the love for what you do was very much a process of this, and it didn't necessarily like become apparent until they were all kind of finished.
Yeah.
Afterwards, I think, which again, like what we were talking about first, like just taking some time after you do something, just to reflect on it and think about it is like super important.
Yes. It's kind of like having that over your body thing, like we were saying earlier. It's like looking down on yourself, isn't it? And seeing what you're doing. And it's just,
Yeah. It's something I think people maybe, well, before lockdown, like I certainly didn't do enough. I feel like probably people in general don't.
yeah. I think this has taught everyone a lot of stuff. It's taught everyone like a lot about everything, a lot about life, and a lot about connecting. It really has. It's just a strange time.
Yeah, definitely. How's it been for you?
It's been okay. It's just kind of like adapting to everything being virtual. And I'm lucky because I've got a lot of equipment because I do a lot of presenting. So I've been doing a lot of like presenting at home, and I've got a green screen. And I live in a studio flat, so it's very small. So trying to get everything done when I'm used to being on these shoots with loads of cameras and things, and I'm just kind of in my room in my own space, being like a geek with my green screen. But it's not been too bad. It's not been as bad as I thought it was, but it has kind of like been nice to connect with people more, and you kind of check in on people more as well. And you think I should have been doing more of this, and I haven't. So it's really strange. You kind of think, oh, what have I been doing before? This doesn't seem the same. So it's so strange, but you get through it. And it's nice it's coming to some kind of end of the tunnel now. Which
Yeah, it's clearing out, isn't it?
yeah, eventually, slowly but surely, hopefully.
Now it's winter.
Yay, I know. We've just skipped the whole summer. Like,
Exactly.
everyone's just been melting inside, just like, oh God. So, but Funkenheim, that is such a tune as well. Like, that is so huge. I love the pace of it as well, and I love the little video you did in your home studio, which is great. How was it shooting that? Was it quite a long process?
Well, what you just said about melting stuff aside, that was like it was like the hottest day of the year, I think, that we shot that, and my studio is like a really small room. We had to like block out the window to stop any light coming in, and
Oh no.
it was so hot, and it was such a long day, and it was so. But for anyone who like, basically the video kind of concept is that it's like a panning camera in the middle of the room, and it like pans round, and there are like multiple me's playing different instruments around as the room goes around, and it was just like the process was mainly like trying to work out how to make it work so that everything would line up.
Yeah.
And it was so stressful. It was horrible to make. It really was. But we got there in the end.
And it looks good. It does look sick. It looks really cool. I love it, and it's so well timed as well. I was like, it's one of those ones I love videos like that because you can watch them for hours because you're like, wow. I feel like that meme, with the maths equations, and you're like, how are you doing it? How are you there and there and there? How do you do that? I love it. It just makes my brain ticking, so it gives it a workout, which is good. But it must have felt so good to get that out there because obviously this is the first taste of the EP as well. So did it feel quite nice to have that out to the world?
Oh, so good, so good. I kind of, yeah, like I said, like I didn't realize it had been so long since I put any music out.
Yeah.
And so like this is kind of very much rebuilding like from the ground up completely.
Yeah.
But yeah, we all chose Funkenheim as the first track because it's kind of a good like transition between the older stuff and the newer stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of a bit of like a silly song and just like there's just a lot going on, and
Yeah.
it's kind of a good thing to just throw out there
Yeah.
at the beginning, I think. Yeah, thank you very much for
No, you're welcome. Honestly, I'm really excited to hear the rest of the EP, and I'm sure a lot of people are as well. And you've got 2 coming out, so that's very exciting. So there's lots of music in your pocket, ready to be birthed to the world.
Yeah, there is lots until like it's quite a long release schedule. It's until like March next year.
Oh, nice. You've got a whole kind of year of it.
But lot backed up.
Yes, which I bet you can't wait to get into a live show and be able to like perform them live. It must be quite frustrating at the moment.
Yeah, it's kind of what I'm playing a socially distanced festival in like 2 weeks' time in Norwich, which yeah, like super excited for. But I feel like it's going to be a lot to get your head around, like with people in pens. It's going to be
Yeah.
quite a juxtaposition to the last time playing live.
Where was the last place you played?
It was at a place called the Old Blue Last in
Oh, I
London.
love that venue. Love that
Yeah, it's a
venue.
really
Yeah.
cool place.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it was a really fun gig, really fun. That was back in February.
That
Uh,
is very intimate, isn't it, there? So that is going to be
it
very
is,
different to
yeah, very
anything.
cool, exactly. So I feel like it's yeah, what's that? Like how long ago was February? 5 months ago, 6 months ago?
Feels longer, doesn't it? Everything just feels like it was about 5 years ago.
Yeah.
When was it's going to be Christmas tomorrow. And it's going to be like, what the hell? Where has this come from? Where are we? Oh, I think we need that right now. You just need to be able to get on the stage and do it, don't you, at this moment? It's just like, live gig, I'll take it. Let me have it. Oh, it's so good. Oh, Sam, that is so exciting. And I think everyone's really, really excited to hear more of the new music as well. And is the release still going on for November? Is that going to be released in November still?
Yeah, well, that's what we're aiming for. Like early. We haven't got a specific date yet, just kind of seeing how things go with the next single. But yeah, early November is what we're working towards.
Super excited. I bet you can't wait. Bet you can't wait. Bet you're
Right.
like, yes, new release, let's go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. Oh, Sam, thank you so much for chatting to me today. And it's
Yeah, it's been a pleasure.
yeah,
Thanks
thank
for having
you. No, thank you. And I hope you're not sweating too much in your home space because it looks warm in there.
me.
It does look warm.
Yeah, it
Oh,
is pretty warm, but no, it's all good.
oh, brilliant. Thank you. Oh, brilliant. Thank you, Sam.